Could Square Enix be putting together a Guardians of the Galaxy game? That makes me both very, very excited, as well as just incredibly nervous, scared. News breakdown for you right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. Good to see you. Good to have all your smiling faces out there on the internet joining us today on the show. Talking Guardians of the Galaxy. Square Enix reportedly coming out on the internet discussing how they might be actually going to be making a Guardians of the Galaxy game. And Matt's a little bit nervous. By the way, if you guys are new to the show, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if that's your thing, and definitely hit the thumbs up if you enjoy the video, because I got more content coming at you every day of the week. It's best I can, unless I'm getting, like the other day I got my COVID shot, and then Matt got all sleepy from that. My arm hurts, like it hurts. It's a throbbing. My wife did not care. Then I got real tired. She said, suck it up. News article comes from Dual Shockers, and it goes like this. So the article actually comes out from Jeff Grubb's personal YouTube channel, where he was talking about this and that it is very much a real reality. And this also makes sense lining up with how Square is actually going and expanding their studios currently. So we could be seeing more games and more push towards things like Marvel's Avengers, as well as future titles that they could be working on, things like Guardians of the Galaxy. Grubb says that that's real. Guardians of the Galaxy, Square Enix, another Marvel game. Grubb didn't divulge any further information on the upcoming Square Enix game, but he did say, quote, "I hope they show it at E3 because I want to see what people think of it." This could mean that Jeff knows more than he's letting on. The game could be far more along than fans receive some sort of trailer when E3 kicks off on June 12th. This has me very puzzled. This is where I want you guys in the community to let me know in the comments so we can talk about it. What do you think this game could be if it is real? If Jeff Grubb is correct, are we going to see another Marvel's Avengers type of game but on the Guardians of the Galaxy side? Could it be just more of a single player focused campaign where they learn the lessons from Marvel's Avengers, and that fans were obviously we have our critiques of the multiplayer, but in large part, people thought that the campaign was good and that there's a lot of care and attention put into the game overall, and they tried. And aside from the multiplayer, the campaign told an interesting story, took on a new perspective, and it had some good beats along the way. It's a solid campaign overall, telling a good Avengers story. Do you think that Guardians of the Galaxy from Square could be along the lines of a Marvel's Avengers single player campaign narrative, Tomb Raider-ish, that kind of thing, with all of your heroes and characters? Or do you think that this is going to be looking at an actual Marvel's Avengers type of deal where it is actually going to be a fully online and they're going to mimic the whole thing? Or do you think it's Matt's option C, which is that this is not so much a game that they're going to be releasing, but more so a full expansion from the Marvel's Avengers game and giving you Marvel's Avengers presents Guardians of the Galaxy, that type of thing, and looking at that as a, mid to end 2022. Again, I'm very terrified by all of this. This is very scary because Marvel's Avengers has a lot of problems, man. The article continues to say that with the reports that Square Enix made a loss of $63 million US on the recent adaptation of Marvel's Avengers, would they be willing to risk another loss, or have they learned from their mistakes? I wonder the same thing too. The last thing from the article it says is that it's possible that Square Enix heard the complaints from fans and are looking to get back on track and right their wrongs. And we hope that Square Enix goes the more traditional campaign-oriented route with Guardians of the Galaxy, but for now, we'll have to wait and see. So this has me very interested, everybody. One, if we saw something at E3 that was just hypothetically a Guardians of the Galaxy single-player narrative campaign, anything like that, I would be blown away. Would it mean that they are turning away from their focus on Marvel's Avengers? Not necessarily at all. I don't agree that they would just be, oh, we're dropping that game failed, so we're just gonna go into Guardians and that's it. I don't think it's black and white like that. I think that the team at Square is large enough that you would see a full team focused on building out a Guardians of the Galaxy, say, single player experience and campaign, and then you could have another team, the existing team, doing updates, modifications, little bits of the stories, the Wakanda missions, things like that. They're doing these little rollouts and stuff. A lot of stuff is already baked in the pipeline that we know about for the roadmap on the Avengers side of things. So I don't think it's fair that if we just say, well, one game failed, we're going to just do Guardians and do the same thing. I'd be ecstatic if we got a Guardians single player story campaign with that just being it in its own little bubble, and we don't have to worry about anything getting associated with Marvel's Avengers. But what would be really cool is that if they somehow do tie it into the overall Avengers Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Marvel Universe itself, and we get the Guardians of the Galaxy single player experience from Square, then it completely opens the door for you to be able to turn around in Marvel's Avengers, assuming the game is still going on and still holding okay. And we get the Guardians with the full online multiplayer expansion in Marvel's Avengers later on in, say, 2023 or the year after. To me, that would be kind of a good strategy, in my opinion. You get a single player experience with Guardians, people love it, maybe it turns out really well. Square can do a fantastic job when it comes to their single player experiences. If they can nail that, and if they are going down that path, then I think that it would open the door and make it a lot easier for them to release skins. You got a lot of hype, a lot of goodwill behind a game like Guardians, and then people would be clamoring to be able to say, I want more Guardians, I want to play a little bit more. Then go ahead and release a full Guardians expansion in the Marvel's Avengers game online, give it its own expansion thing, and then you start creating that whole universe and building it out and building it out. If they're doing something like that with the expansion of Square Enix's studios, with you see more developers coming in, I think that this could be really, really positive news, and I think we could see something really great come out of this if it's all true and if we get something at E3. So folks, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are we going to get a Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy single player experience? Do you think it's just going to be a little bit of a Marvel's Avengers expansion? Or is it something entirely different that we're not really considering, or is it going to be both? Is it going to be a multiplayer with Avengers? I'm so scared. Like, seriously, like, I don't want them to just do, like, just carbon copy Avengers. I just don't think they'll go down that path, but the game has problems. Played it the other day, by the way. I got my Endgame Iron Man suit. Love it. Fantastic. Definitely worth the money there. Black Widow, not so much. Didn't like that. Waiting on Captain America. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of news to go out with you guys. Hope you're excited. Hope we get something at E3. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy this summer break. Get to work. Wear a mask. Get a vaccine if that's your thing. Stay healthy. Thank you as always for assembling with us. See ya.